The Bay Area's rock station, 107.7 The Bone.
Alex from Cannibal Corpse, one of the, I would say, most credible bands on the bill at Rockstar Mayhem, don't you think?
Well, I don't know about that, but we've definitely been around for a long time. We're a veteran band, I guess you could say. Like, I think the only band that's probably been around longer than us on this tour is Slayer. So, you know, yeah, we've been around for a while. I don't know about credible or whatever, but we're a veteran band for sure, one of the main veterans.
You don't see a lot of complaints around the internet that Cannibal Corpse sells out or anything?
No, I think, you know, we're pretty well known for being consistent. You know, we set out to do one kind of music that's just, you know, really brutal death metal, and that's what we still do. So people know what to expect from us.
So after 20 years, right? 20 years?
Yeah, it's been a little over 20 years now.
So after 20 years of some of the most brutal lyrics in metal, how do you wake up for a new album and go, what now?
You know, we just still love this kind of music, and I feel like, you know, we got some pretty creative songwriters in the band, and we love to jam together. So getting together and jamming and writing new stuff and then writing stuff at home on our own as well, it's still just as much fun as it ever was. Not once can I really remember a time when I felt stumped for ideas. You know, I'm not saying they're all good ideas, but I feel like we always have a lot of ideas in this band. It's just a lot of creative people in the band. We're lucky like that, I guess.
Do you ever have like a death clock moment where you come up with an idea and then realize that you already did it?
Oh, that'll happen, yeah, because if it sounded good once, it'll sound good again, you know, so you got to watch out for that, yeah.
So a long time ago, and somewhat recently, you guys were just getting hit left and right with banning and not full-blown lawsuits, but complaints and all kinds of stuff. Has that finally tapered off?
It's definitely, all that kind of stuff has tapered off, yeah. It's, I think it's gotten to a point where people know what we're about, you know, a bit more. Even people outside the death metal scene understand, oh, okay, these guys are doing it for entertainment. It's much more like a horror movie. I mean, we're certainly not trying to instruct anybody to do what's going on in our songs. Quite the
20 years, they haven't killed anybody yet?
As far as I know, like, nothing has happened. There might have been, like, something way back when, in the early days, where something happened, yeah, I heard, but I don't know the full details on that.
But I'm sure it wasn't directly related.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. You know, yeah, there was some incident with a fan of death metal. One of the bands he liked was us, where I believe he was involved with a murder. But I don't know how directly that could be linked, you know, to anything. I mean, people listen to all kinds of music, you know, and we, like I said, we certainly are against any actual violence. Our band is all about, you know, like it just being like a horror movie, and in the same way a guy who makes a horror movie like Wes Craven wouldn't want that kind of stuff to really happen, neither would we, you know.
Have you had to dissuade some fans that have come up and been a little over the top?
No, you know, like it just seems like everybody gets it. I mean, other than that one incident that I heard about way back, you know, I don't know when it was like early 90s or something, that there was some crime that committed, but other than that one incident, I haven't heard about anything, you know, so I think everybody in general, other than I guess the isolated, you know, crazy person or whatever, understands that that the lyrics for death metal bands are just entertainment in the same way, you know, a video game or a horror movie is.
And I'm sure there's a couple Spice Girl fans in jail for murder, right?
Oh, you know, if you had to isolate what kind of music people listen to, you know, and the crimes they committed, I think that the ratio for death metal would be pretty low, actually. Everybody's pretty mellow on the scene compared to what people outside the scene might think.
So looking back over it now from so long ago, can you see any way that you could have avoided it back then, or did it seem like it just had to happen so that you could be where you are now with all this controversy?
Oh, what, like with the lyrics and that? You know, we weren't really thinking about it. You know, you're young. You're not making plans. It's just we liked horror movies. We love super heavy death metal. You know, like that's just what we wanted to do. There was no plan really, other than let's make the best death metal band we can. You know, and to us, really gory, violent lyrics went along with the aggressive music that we were trying to make. So, yeah, there was no long-term plan. I never would have believed that I'd be here right now 20 years ago. Never would have believed it.
Was there ever a time when you guys sat down and were like, well, maybe if we changed a lyric, or maybe if we changed an album cover or just put it on the inside?
No, no. I mean, we've had to do a few things out of censorship issues and things like that, you know, or in order to get albums into stores, sometimes you have to put an O-card over top or have the really gory stuff on the interior. We've done that sort of thing, but we never have watered down our music in any way or the lyrics. We just try and have that be as brutal as possible. I don't know, you don't make a death metal band hoping to be commercially successful. You do it because you love death metal. You know, if you want to be commercially successful, there's a lot of other kinds of music you should get into. This is not it. We're friends with so many great death metal bands that are not doing nearly as well as us just for lack of being in the right place at the right time, and they deserve it, but you know, it's just, they deserve to be doing well too, but the reality is that death metal is not that big. I don't know if it'll ever be that big.
107.7 The Bone.
Streaming online at 1077thebone.com.